I think that feels like a nice package there.
Yeah.
Wow, look at those phones lined up. It's Felger and Mazz on 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Murray, what's the report you had on Ian Rappaport from the NFL Network?
Says the Patriots and Eagles are not particularly close on the trade compensation for A.J. Brown. Says the Eagles still want a first-round pick for Brown. Patriots haven't budged in that regard. Added the trade discussions could, quote, drag on for the foreseeable future.
Okay, Murray, do you believe that?
What part? The foreseeable future part? That this isn't going to be done next week?
Any part of it?
Yeah, I have to think the Patriots don't want to have to give up a first-round pick for a guy he's in his 30s now, right? A.J. Brown, and I don't want to say back nine of his career, but he's certainly not the player he was a few years ago. And I'm okay with them trading a first-round pick, maybe not next year's, but just try to kick it down the road. And I leads me to believe that the hang-up is that the Eagles want next year's first-round pick, which I don't mind the Patriots saying, like, not so fast. We don't want to give you that one. And plus, who else is interested?
A.J. Brown will be 30 at the end of June.
Okay.
June 30th, he'll be 30 years old. Michael Hawley, would you give up a first-rounder for A.J. Brown?
Yes, because that's what the Patriots are going to do to get A.J. Brown. This is what the Patriots, I believe, have already done. Now, this is interesting to me, Mazz and Murray, because as we know, the NFL sold off the NFL Network, and ESPN is controlling the NFL Network, but the NFL has like 10% or 20% of it, whatever it is. I think it's 10%. So now you've got an insider. You got an NFL Network guy, their insider, Ian Rappaport. They used to be at separate addresses. Now they're under the same umbrella. Ian Rappaport saying essentially the opposite of what Adam Schefter is saying. So you got two insiders in-house playing for the same team saying two different things. I think Schefter's right. I think Rappaport's wrong. And I know Schefter knows he's right.
Okay.
Schefter knows he's right. Because I think he has heard it from both parties. I think he's got confirmation from the Patriots. I think he's gotten confirmation from the Eagles. It's a first-round pick. I don't think it's going to be a 2000. I'll be surprised, and I think the Patriots would lose this, in my opinion, if they give up a 2027 first. This is just some draft nerdy stuff for you. I'll just be brief on it. 2027 draft, loaded. 2028, not as loaded, and gives you some time to build your program a little bit more. I think they have agreed to a 2028 first-round pick.
Would you,
A.J. Brown. Yes.
So you wouldn't give up a 27, you said, but you're giving up a 28 first-rounder.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't give you names, but what Michael just said, like you read that next year's draft is absolutely loaded, and that's not the year to be trading away a first-round pick.
Bunch of quarterbacks, bunch of receivers, just a bunch of really, really good players.
Yeah. So look, I still think it's going to happen. A.J. Brown's going to be a Patriot, but I don't doubt that there's maybe some hang-up going on here. They're just haggling over what year that first-round pick is going to be. I don't think it should be next year's, though.
And I like it. I actually like, we've talked so much about A.J. Brown and just what the compensation is, who needs to make this deal more. Is it more important to the Eagles or the Patriots? Just allow yourself to imagine a 1-2-3, just from a wide receiver standpoint, where Drake May, presumably playing behind a better offensive line. His first option is A.J. Brown at receiver. His second option is Romeo Doubs. So you got A.J. Brown, Romeo Doubs, and Mac Hollins. Well, I don't know how you felt about him. I liked him.
Me too.
As a third or fourth receiver. Very good. I haven't even mentioned the tight ends. Haven't mentioned the running backs. That's damn impressive, if you ask me. So A.J. Brown to the Patriots, if it costs you a first-round pick, see, I still think he is, Murray. This is where I disagree with you. I think he's still that guy. It just got to the point between the offensive coordinator situation in Philadelphia, the low-key hatred, but not so low-key hatred between A.J. and Jalen Hurts, between Jalen Hurts, A.J., and Nick Sirianni, and Sirianni sometimes in the middle. I think that really took over. That became the bigger story than just letting the talent go out there and show itself.
That's what my hope is, that this was, I said it yesterday, like Randy Moss at those last couple of years with the Raiders, where he was ultimately playing possum to get himself the hell out of there. He was half checked out. It was like Corey Dillon with the Bengals at the end, too. It's like, well, what are we really going to be getting here? Is he going to be still what he was a few years ago? Turns out, yeah, he's still pretty awesome. So that's my hope with A.J. Brown. That's what has been going on there in Philly with him.
I wouldn't give up the first rounder. I never would have given up the first rounder.
And why not? Tell me why not.
Because I don't think he's that kind of talent anymore, and I think he's, on the I say on the downside, not ridiculously over the top and on the downside. But I didn't like what I saw in that final playoff game. He did not look good in that game. Now,
he was checked. No, to Murray's point, at that point he had checked out.
Oh, completely.
Where we can all read lips. You saw what he said to Sirianni right to his face, and I think that was built up for a long time.
So, and that might be true, which would make me feel better. I still wouldn't do it. Now, if it's a conditional first, based on the amount of time he plays, et cetera, or what he does in year 2, or if they get to the AFC Championship game, or whatever conditions they want to put on it, then fine, you might be able to talk me into that. But straight up, number one, no. I wouldn't do it. You're helping Philadelphia out. I don't think there are a lot of teams out there that want him. I think a lot of this is bullcrap. I think it was their deal from the very beginning because I didn't feel to me like there were a lot of takers. What did Deebo Samuel go for when he went to
Washington?
Was it a 5th round or a second?
But Deebo was
pretty much washed.
Done.
Okay.
Deebo is done.
Okay, but the price was so low.
But look at the price.
I think it was a 5th.
Oh yeah,
Wasn't it a 5th?
So
yeah, 5th rounder. Yep.
Throw Deebo out of there. Do you think A.J. Brown is a better, and I know every situation is different, do you think A.J. Brown's a better receiver than Jalen Waddle? I do. What?
Waddle's younger.
Yeah, okay.
They're different. They're different because one's
a true one, and the other one's like a 1B. Waddle is very good. I think A.J. Brown is better than Waddle.
Yeah, I get wrapped up in the age thing right now. But overall, yeah, Brown's better than Waddle.
Yeah, so they gave a first-round pick for him.
Brown at his peak was better than Waddle at his peak. Can I say it that way?
But, okay, fine. I would say, a couple things. I think the Patriots have given up a first because that's why we're saying nobody else is interested.
Because they met the price.
In other words, Philly said, all right, you want him? All right, what will you do to take him off the market? What will you give us to take him off the market? I think this was established a long time ago. He said, all right. So if we meet this price, then he's ours. And we just wait until we'll play this, do this song and dance and make it dramatic and wait until pretend like we don't have a deal before June 1st, even though we do. And so I think that was the terms. Okay, how do we reach this agreement? Well, you got to give us a first-round pick.
So I think the report also is bullcrap. I think the deal's done.
Done.
Murray had him shopping for apartments about 2 weeks ago.
Stand by that.
I know you do.
It's in your desk drawer. Okay, the contract is in your desk drawer down the hall. It is already done. There's no question.
That's how I feel too.
And now it's done. Now here's a question: when A.J. Brown doesn't have a ton of guaranteed money left on this deal, when he becomes a Patriot, hey, it's great, good to reunite with Mike Vrabel, blah blah blah. Is he looking for a new contract?
A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
If I'm the Patriots, I'm not giving him one. No, look, it's one or the other. You're not getting both. I'm not giving up a first-round pick and giving you a new contract.
That's not his problem. So if I'm A.J. Brown, I'm like, hey, what you gave up for me is not my problem. I'm a player, and I'm a number one receiver. I want to get paid.
Okay, my guess is that they already sorted that one out.
Probably.
And they
would have to.
Yeah, if they said to him we'll give up the first to get you. If they did both, they're stupid. You almost should never do both unless you're talking about some young guy who's in a contract dispute and he's in the early part of his career. For example, Micah Parsons. Okay?
Yeah.
First real contract in the league. Dallas wasn't going to pay him. Someone was going to pay him, and he's an elite talent. That's an extenuating circumstance. Even then, I'm not sure I would have given up what they gave up. But overall, yes, he's a game changer. He's a game wrecker. All of that is true.
I think you're underrating A.J. Brown at this stage of his career.
You might be right.
Because of all the Philly stuff. And he did. He gave you there's a bunch of BS that has come with him the last couple of years. I pointed this out. I don't know if people remember it. Because they blew out Kansas City in that Super Bowl, everybody just kind of like, that's what you remember. But early in that game, okay, they won the Super Bowl. Early in that game, A.J. Brown has an argument with Nick Sirianni. Sirianni is on the field. You can read his lips. He was like, A.J., come on. Like, I think early in the game, he didn't get the ball. In the Super Bowl. They had control of the game already. He didn't get the ball, and he was pissed off. So, I mean, this thing has gone back even when they had success.
Oh, yeah, he's
just not happy with that operation. But as bad as last year was for the Eagles, as disappointing as it was for him, still, you look at his numbers, not awesome, not number one off the charts numbers, but still pretty good. He can still bring it.
I hope you're right. To me, I wouldn't give up the first, and I would never give up a first and pay a guy. Again, unless it was a really unique circumstance. We've gone over. We'll be back with your calls next, I promise.
Boston's best sports talk. You can count on it.
2 plus 2 is a 5.
Me sento un po' pacchiato perché
Felger and Mazz.
I ask you, rather, just to be succinct. Get to the point quickly. Phil is in a car with a what if. Phil, what do you got?
Okay, so as we embark on the 40th anniversary of everything John McNamara did to sabotage the World Series, the thing that has always stuck up my backside is in 2 crucial pinch hit situations. You have former league MVP Don Baylor and a guy who hit 30 home runs for you that year on the bench, and McNamara goes for the lefty-righty combination and brings up late-season call-up Mike Greenwell. Couldn't even call him a rookie. Came up in September and put him in that crucial situation instead of this man, Don Baylor, who did so much to contribute to the success of this team. And Mazz, do you remember what the results of those at-bats were?
No, I don't even remember what game you're talking about.
There were two different situations. So it was 2 games that they ultimately lost. I don't even remember what games they were.
In the World Series?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
86 World Series. Greenwell, late season call-up. Instead of pinch hitting Baylor because he was out due to the DH rule, he brings up Mike Greenwell, and I can remember Greenwell both times striking out at balls in the dirt. And it's always been a problem for me, and I never hear anyone ever talk about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Phil. Clearly, you've held on to it for freaking 30 years, 40 years.
Yeah,
that is great.
Hey, you put Baylor in, at least he's gonna there's a chance he gets hit, right? And does he still have the record?
Oh, he was great at that.
Of being hit? Is he the guy who was hit the most?
He was one of them, I think.
He's up there with HBPs.
I have no recollection of that whatsoever.
He doesn't remember either. He just said it bothers him, but he doesn't remember which game it was.
Doug in Westwood with a what if. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, during the 94 work stoppage, didn't the Red Sox have in place deals for Sammy Sosa, John Wetland, and Rick Aguilera, but they were voided because of the work stoppage?
Yeah, so it wasn't Rick Aguilera. It was Sammy Sosa, Kevin Appier, and John Wetland. It was those 3 guys.
Pretty good.
Jimmy Stewart threw this up there, too. So I'll tell you why I don't include this. Because it was during the work stoppage, and they were going to rewrite the bargaining agreement. So the point is there were no rules. So the Red Sox there were no rules to free agency. The Red Sox signed 3 guys when there were no rules. I think they knew that the rules, that it was all going to be erased and you had to start over. So I never really felt like they were, no other team had signed anybody, is what I'm getting at. So it's not like they were ahead of the game, or I think they sort of said, give it a shot, and if it happens, great. How come they didn't, put it this way, after the strike was settled, how come they didn't sign any of the guys?
Yeah.
You understand? Sean in the car. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, first, I want to thank Jay Stu for supporting my suggestion of doing this tiers. Mazz, I want to thank you because pivotal moment is the right way of looking at it that I could not articulate yesterday. And then for the 2 suggestions I have, I still say if Ime Udoka was never fired, the Celtics may have had definitely more championships.
Great one.
But lastly, most importantly, hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Lastly, most importantly, if Bledsoe didn't get hurt is the wrong question. The real question is if Kraft let Parcells pick his own groceries, at that point, wouldn't Parcells have been here for a lot longer and then stuck with his guy Bledsoe over Brady?
Okay, so that's an interesting way to look at it.
I don't know if Parcells really ever loved Bledsoe.
No, he didn't. He didn't, and I don't think, and Bledsoe didn't love Parcells either. To this day, if you don't hear Bledsoe talk about Parcells, he says, hey, what Parcells did, and even now, Bledsoe doesn't think it was necessary. Like the gruff, the tough love from Parcells, he didn't necessarily appreciate it all that much. And plus, it's just too much of a gap between 1997 or 1996 when Parcells couldn't draft who he wanted to. By the way, who he wanted to draft was wrong. He wanted to draft a defensive lineman who was not that good.
Tony Brackens.
Tony Brackens, and they drafted Terry Glenn. So Terry Glenn was a better player, But 96 to 2000, all the way up to to Brady, that's a long way. That's a lot. A lot can happen in those 4 years.
It's asking for a lot of things to change.
But by the way, his what if? Here's the what if. What if Ime had kept it in his pants? That's the what if.
So that's a good one.
Because
Joe Mazzulla never would have been.
That changes everything. Okay, how many championships would they have if you look at it this way? If they have Ime Udoka as their coach and not Joe Mazzulla, and this is no respect to the coach of the year, staff of the year, how many championships would they have?
Probably 2.
1.
Only 1?
I don't think that they end up blowing it the following year. They lose in the finals to the Warriors. That following year, they blow it to Miami. I don't think that they blow it to Miami.
I'll say this.
Now, do you beat Denver? I don't know, but
I don't think they blow it to Miami. I don't think they blow it against the Knicks last year.
The best defense I've ever seen them play was the second half of that season with Udoka.
Oh, yeah, they figured it out.
Their defense was unbelievable.
They played for him. Now, there's some people, and I don't want to make him sound like he walks on water, Ime. There's some people in the organization who were not necessarily thrilled. This is before he had his little issues off the court. There's some people who weren't necessarily thrilled with some of his coaching decisions in the finals against Steve Kerr and the Warriors.
Okay.
So he had it's not like, he was just great. He was great from the start.
He was a lock to stay.
He made some mistakes in the finals too.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm thinking out some of those Parcells years if he stays. In 97, they don't lose. They don't lose to Pittsburgh. Then they'd be back home. They get waxed by Denver because Denver was a wagon in 97, 98.
Murray, let me ask you a simple question with Parcells. After he left the Giants, where did he stay anywhere for more than like 3 or 4 years?
Oh, yeah, nowhere.
Okay, so it was going to end here one way or the other.
Yeah, no, I know.
Right.
But I'm just trying to play it out, the what if.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made it. He wouldn't have made it to 2000.
No.
He wouldn't have made it to the 2000.
No.
Never would have made it. Murray's Get Your Headlines. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, email of the day, final word.
I want to get to the gossip first.
Everything you said is right.
Felger and Mazz, the Sports Zone.
It's the Coleman Electric email of the day. Dear Felga, I really hate you. And I think Mazz is a boob. It's electric. The Coleman Electric email of the day. It's electric. Send yours to Felger at 985thesportshub.com.
Email of the day brought to you by Coleman Electric, a bunch of really good electricians helping homeowners like you. You ready, Michael?
I'm ready.
When you need an electrician, call Coleman.
It's electric.
I thought we were going to do it together.
No, you go.
Oh, it's electric.
It's
electric.
It's
electric.
Okay, Murray, what do you got over there? Anything good?
A few. So these are based off your tiers, Mazz's tiers today, the biggest what-ifs in Boston sports. Justin says, what if Belichick had drafted Lamar Jackson? Remember going back to
Good one.
2018, right? Is that when that was? And there was real interest from Josh McDaniels, right? Worked him out. He says, always wondered this. Would Belichick still be here? I'm guessing he would.
Probably.
Can I give you one, Murray?
Sure.
This one is from Bufa in Taunton. Did you get this one?
Oh, yeah, I did. I was CC'd on this one, yeah.
Okay, glaring omission to Mazz's Tiers this week, he says. What if the Bruins never came back against the Maple Leafs in Game 7 of the 2013 Eastern Conference Finals? I thought about this and I said, oh, geez, sometimes we focus on the, like, in other words, would someone have been fired? Like, I need to, but that's not where he's going. Had they not won that game, he says, Jim Murray wouldn't have had his Bruins rant on air, and he never would have called James Reimer a bum. Therefore, he never would have been hired by the Sports Hub, changing Felger and Mazz forever.
Probably true, yeah.
The second part of that is not true. I had Jim Murray on my radar.
Oh, there it is.
Figured out that
There
Mark
it
was
is.
leaving.
That's right. Stu treats you like Tom Brady.
Coach comes in and said, this is my guy. I pounded the table for Jim Murray. He would have been here.
I led the meeting on that hire.
Well, thank you, Jay Stu.
You're welcome.
Murray, you got another one or no? I'll give you one more if you don't.
You got one more here from Riley. What if the Bruins don't trade Tyler Sagan? Funny story. I was at Sagan's 4th of July party on the Cape when he got traded. Yeah, what if he didn't? There'd be a lot of partying and a lot more doing here in the Boston area if Tyler Sagan didn't get traded.
Okay, this one came came later in the program. He said Maze instead of Mazz. Yeah, maze.
The host made of corn.
Yeah, you make me dizzy. It's like I'm in a maze. They are named Pop-Tarts because they're supposed to, quote, pop out of the toaster. That's why they have heating instructions. Sorry. And the subject line said, Pop-Tarts, you idiots. So I understand, but
you were kind of harsh on them. You said people who do it are losers.
Yeah, well,
you call them losers.
I mean, I would eat them just as is.
Yeah, they're better as is. When you heat them up, something happens, and it changes the whole thing, the whole alchemy of the Pop-Tart. It doesn't taste as good.
You got to get it just right, too, because if you heat them up just a little too long, you don't want them too gooey. You want it just right. And let me ask you this on your tiers, by the way. Why didn't you put in Grady? Why didn't you like the Grady one?
Oh, no, you can put the Grady thing in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your take on it? Because I know a lot of people covering the Red Sox came to Grady's defense.
Oh, I was one of them.
Oh, you did? I
was one of
Grady's defense.
So here's it. Yeah, I did. I was wrong. I mean, obviously I was wrong, but let me tell you why. Because I think if you watch that team all year long, their bullpen was a freaking train wreck. It was a train wreck.
But they had stabilized.
Well, in that
postseason.
In that series, not in the postseason. This is a lie. They played the first round against Oakland that year, and if you remember, Derek Lowe had to close Game 5 of that series.
And I remember his celebration, too.
Okay, yeah, right, that's right.
Against Terrence Long, right?
Yeah, he kind of whacked himself in the groin.
It was the old
like
DX,
that.
Yeah, it was one of those. You got it exactly right, Murray. It was a. Do you remember?
A better time.
Do you know how many relievers they acquired that year? They acquired, I think, Alan Embry. They acquired first. It was his name Byung-Hun Kim?
Yes. I used to remember the nickname you used to have for him. I used to love. No, used to call him Lil Kim.
Oh, really?
It was great. You don't remember you wrote that? I thought it was hilarious. You used to write that about him.
Oh, did I?
Little Kim.
Oh, yeah. I have no memory of that.
That's great.
I wrote a lot of crap. I don't remember.
No, that was good though.
I mean, Michael. Yeah.
They started the season with bullpen by committee. We're not going to have it was Chad Fox.
Or closer by committee. Yeah,
that's right, closer by committee. So then in May, they had to go and get Byung-Hun Kim, BK Kim, who they traded Hillenbrand for.
Yeah.
Right? They got and then he sucked and crapped his pants. So I think they added Alan Embry that year. No.
Scott Williamson.
Scott Williamson came later. They picked him up like right at the end of the trade deadline, I think. They picked up every reliever who had a pulse.
Scott Sauerback from the Pirates.
Anybody who could close.
Him. Yeah.
And then they sucked in the first round of the playoffs, too. And so it was like, these guys just can't get it right. Then in the Yankee series, they caught fire.
But look at, they were ragdolling Pedro in that inning. You could see it.
I agree.
And he thought he was done.
Yes.
He thought he was done.
So I didn't see that part when he came off the mound in the 7th. So I missed that. But that was
pointed to the sky and saying, hey, there we go. Night's over.
I didn't think he was done. In fact, probably because I looked at someone and said, what do you do here? I'd leave him in. And I'm not surprised Grady left him in, but they effed up. There's no question they effed up. But yeah, I was one of the idiots who defended him.
But it's better the way now we say this because they've won several championships since then. The story was better. Like the 2003 heartbreak, you could feel it. Mazz, am I right? You could feel it over the city.
Oh, it was way better.
I mean, that coming back to the city was depressed. The entire city, everybody was down. The Red Sox lost. Everybody was pissed off at Grady Little. That sets up 2004.
Oh my gosh,
better. Like they probably would have lost to the Marlins in 2003, by the way.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the Yankees did.
I know, because the Marlins were fantastic.
Legit. No, they were legit.
They got off to a rough start, and then they got it
Beckett
together.
Was ridiculous.
Filthy.
They had them all. They had a young Beckett. They had a young Cabrera. I mean, they had Mikey Lowell, Ivan Rodriguez. I mean, that team was pretty talented.
Michael, I don't need to give you story time here, but since Felger's not here, what the hell? 03 and 04. First of all, it was so great. The stuff was so great. I wrote a book about it with John Harper. The Red Sox Yankees 03-04. They played 52 times in 2 years because 14 of those games were in the postseason. So back then they were playing 19 games in the division. So they played 38 regular season games, another 14 postseason games. They played 52 games. Going into Game 7 in 2004, it was Red Sox 26, Yankees 25. Okay, in the 51 games, they had each won, the Red Sox had won one more. If the Yankees had won Game 7, it had been 26-26. In the playoffs, they were 7-7. Each team won an American League Championship Series. And in the 52 games, the difference in runs scored between the two teams was 17. Okay, so it was a third of a run per game. Every game was a war.
It was.
Yeah. They were the two best teams in baseball.
And that run differential thing's probably skewed a little bit because that game 3 in 04 where they scored 19 runs.
Yeah,
correct.
19-8.
Yeah, and not only that, Murray, the Red Sox blew them out in Game 7.
Yeah.
So
right.
It was the final was like 10-4.
Right.
I don't even remember what the final score was. It was something like that. So it was really like 11 runs or something like
Those
that.
games were exhausting.
They were
exhausting to watch, to cover. They were everything.
And yet you felt like you couldn't turn it off.
Yep.
Right? So it was the best baseball competition that I had seen head to head and that I'll ever see. I think it was just
I don't think you can argue that at all. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I will say though, as part I almost got punched by my late friend who passed away a few years ago that was like the most obsessive Red Sox fan I ever knew. But in terms of the caring, what the park and the experience has turned into, you could maybe make a case that the worst thing that ever happened to them is that they won the thing.
Oh, you're not the only one who's ever
It'd
said
be
that.
so much better if you still had that dangling carrot in front of you. You would care more. The park would be better. It'd be full of better fans. The owners would still care.
So
yeah, on the money because
Yes.
John Henry.
True.
John Henry was that's what drove him when he first got here. He got into it. He got into the longing, the angst, the anxiety, beating the Yankees. He was into it. Lucchino was into it, and he was in that space. He was willing to do whatever it took to get the Red Sox to a championship level. He was chasing it.
Absolutely.
I think he still felt it in 2007. 2013 changed him.
So I would say I thought I think it was after the second title, their TV ratings were the highest they've ever been.
In 07, yeah.
I think maybe that was the year they won it. But I think their highest TV ratings ever were in 07. So immediately after 04, a lot of the popularity hadn't dropped. It had only increased. The Red Sox became hot. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. I remember, yeah.
But there's something.
But it changed.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that whole expression. It's in the chase. Everything is in the chase.
Of course.
It's not in the capture. It's in the chase. The exhilaration comes from the chase. And once that ended, they might be better off for it. Worse off for it. Sorry, I misspoke there. So, do we still have time for a call, Jimmy? Can we squeeze in another call here? All right, we'll do that. A couple of people waiting for a while. Ramon with a suggestion for Mazz Tiers. Go ahead, Ramon.
Hey, guys. So with Rossini reporting this with the A.J. Brown trade, like, going months from now, then you have Ian Rappaport jumping in as well, saying the rumors are probably true after June 1st. And then, obviously, the whole scandal that happened with Vrabel as well. Is it safe to say this is probably one of the worst-kept secrets in sports history in regards to the A.J. Brown trade? It's like, at this point, everybody just has it set up on their calendar. Even with the recent news, that they're not going to offer a first-round pick, but that's obvious. But, I think that would be also a good suggestion, just going back in history, like one of the worst-kept secrets in sports history, and I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, I'd have to think about that one. Worst-kept secrets in sports history.
That's
I don't
a
know.
difficult one.
You got any off the top? Like
No, it's too difficult.
We could do best-kept
Come on,
secrets.
it's supposed to be easy. Ramon, make them easy. We shouldn't have to do deep research on this. You got to go to the lab for like a couple hours.
I was going to say the decision, but that was kind of a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, I shouldn't have to go into the archives. And the decision was a surprise.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected.
Except to your mom.
Except mom. Except my mom.
That's right. I forgot about
the
that.
mayor of Akron. She knew.
Final word, Jimmy. Fire it up.
Hey, it's Felger here. Now on Felger and Mazz.
It's the final
word. Recapping this 4-hour show in 4 minutes, which leads to the question, does it really need to be 4 hours long?
No. Final word brought to you by Town Fair Tire. If you're looking for the best deal on tires, there is only one place to go. That's Town Fair Tire. The best prices and great free services. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Playing hurt today. Michael Hawley in the Mazz chair with the... what is that? It's a tooth issue, right?
It's a tooth.
Infection.
Infection in his mouth. Still playing hurt. We got him to sing.
Who's for real? Mazz's Tiers. Sing it, Holly. Come on.
Mazz's Tiers.
Mazz's Tiers. Mazz's Tiers. Oh, it's painful. Tiers.
Why'd you add that at the end?
That wasn't one of our better efforts. We need Murray to sing. He's.
I sing in the intro. I'm not going to be redundant. That's why I don't. Because
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, that's true. Actually, Murray's got the best pipes by far on the show. It's
1, 2, 3, 4. Beep.
It's really not even all that close. So
you're welcome, Boston.
Michael Holly, twice in a week. What a pleasure.
This is fun.
Very,
appreciate you guys.
Enjoyable to have you here, to say the least.
Good to see you. Best of luck to your mouth.
Oh yeah, got some meds. A little med action tonight.